Hello, guys, and welcome to the very first DropSquad podcast. I'm Empty Chest. This is Purple
Hello.
Unicorn. Seraphim 190.
What's that?
And this is Lewis Knight.
What's up?
Okay, all of us have a YouTube channel. It's linked in the description below. If you guys want to come check us out, we stream. We're called the Drop Squad because we usually play VR games and we usually rush the drops. So that's where we got our name, if anybody's wondering. And in this podcast, we're going to be just talking about games, shooting the shit. It doesn't really matter. We're just having fun. We're just a group of guys and gal that play together. So
A whole lot.
yeah, we figured we do YouTube. We might as well just combine our powers together like Megatron and do a show.
Captain
So
Planet.
I'm just gonna start it off. This is this is very, very uncontrolled. We're just gonna go off, but we have a couple things that we want to talk about. So we're gonna start it off with Last of Us 2. I know that Purple Unicorn and Lewis Knight played that game. I don't know if Seraphim did, but I
watched
over
it.
that one. I love. You watched
on
it.
stream. Yeah,
See,
I saved $100.
you
I
sat.
made $100.
He sat there in the theater with the camera. He watched the pirated version.
Yeah.
Okay. So, what's your guys' opinion of the game? Like, how'd you guys like it?
I loved it.
Keep going.
I thoroughly enjoyed every bit of it. I felt like it was a very emotional journey. I felt like, and of course I'm not doing spoilers or anything like that, but I felt like, really? Should we do that? Can we do that here?
Yeah, it's too late now. It's way
It's been out long
I
enough?
think it's been out
Okay.
long enough. Yeah, it's been
All
out
right.
long enough. I give it 3 weeks
Hey,
max.
if you
Yeah,
don't want to
I-
hear
And
spoilers,
then you should be
3,
able to talk
2,
about it.
1, spoiling it.
Go
Spoiling!
Yeah,
Typically, I avoid spoilers, of course. And for this game, honestly, leading up to it, the only thing I did was watch the trailer. I made sure that I saw nothing, I knew nothing. There was like a big spoiler leak at some point. I purposely stopped reading the internet for the most part until the game came out. And I really enjoyed it. I thought playing sort of empathically, if that's a word, was super fun. I hated Abby pretty much on sight. I sort of resented playing her at times, but I thought it kind of gave you a chance to sort of see from somebody else's shoes. And at the end, I didn't necessarily feel like Ellie was, the good guy all the time anymore. And I was heartbroken at times. I was amused, and for honestly, for a couple weeks after the game, I was still grieving.
Graphics.
Yeah, graphically, well, yeah. Well, what do you think about the graphics?
Well, the graphics are probably the best you're gonna see on this last generation of PS4 on any game. So there goes Naughty Dog again. When PS4 came out, Last of Us Remastered was the best looking game, and now Last of Us 2 is now the best looking game until PS5 comes out, and that'll probably be the best looking game on there too, because it'll probably carry over. But I'm gonna skip right to the end. So I didn't mind how it ended when they didn't actually, nobody killed each other. Abby didn't kill Ellie, Ellie didn't kill Abby. I did feel somewhat sorry for her, but I still stand by my word and say I didn't like playing as her as long as they made me play her. After a while, I just wanted to go back to the characters that I loved more than anything that they made me fall in love with in the first game. And there's a couple of parts there, like, where I was kind of like, I felt like we're a little bit out of character. Like, I don't know, like, if the years have made Joel a soft man, but no, like, in the zombie apocalypse, you don't just be walking into strangers' places and be like, yeah, my name's Joel. Like, it's just kind of weird to me. But whatever, I'm not the writer, and that's the decision they went with.
Why wouldn't he say his name? He had shown before that he was protective and maybe it was a little bit soft of him to introduce himself, but what he saw was Abby was in danger.
I just don't. Yeah, of
and
course
he was
that.
lending some sort of hand, sort of outreaching.
I just feel like from the men that we come to know from the first game just feel like he.
Oh, you mean
like
killing her father in cold blood? Got it.
No,
Yep.
I'm talking about like people that are like, oh help, I need help. Those motherfuckers don't need help. Like that's the motherfucker that.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm. It just makes no sense. But anyway, it's like I said, time has passed by. It's a different time now. It's a few years past. They got like a city now. They got like all these people that they're looking after. There's an entire place. Things are a little bit different than they used to be. So, other than that, like the gameplay was tight as fuck. I thought the gameplay was sick. There was moments in there where I was genuinely fucking scared. They got new creatures called the Shamblers. And I forget the ones they call it, they creep around, they kind of hide and stuff. What are they called? Stalkers. And then they have like a new type of like a semi-bloater and a new pretty much like a fucking like a Resident Evil type of thing where that every creature is just melded into one giant
that
monster.
Was nasty. I did not see that coming.
I thought that was cool. Like, all the graphics made it really good and intense, and sometimes they just kept throwing shit at you. Towards the end, though, I did start to lose a little bit of steam and just wanted to get to the end of the story.
I will say, same. There were times where I'm like, okay, I'm close, right? And then something would happen.
And there's like another 3 hours. I'm like, this is getting a little too stretched out. And it's mostly stretched out by gameplay, not story. So that was like an issue. Sometimes it kind of like messed up the pacing of what was going down, but I still always kept in mind of what like happened last. And it's not like I didn't forgot or anything like that. But there was a lot of gameplay in between. Like you're fighting new factions, people that can whistle with bows and arrows that just hit you with like, the darkness.
And the dogs.
Then you have the dogs, and then they make you kill dogs, and the dogs have names, so they make you feel bad about killing the dogs with names.
I did not feel bad about killing the dogs.
But I didn't. For me, it was a little bit like I have. Obviously, we can see the dog on the screen right now in the Call of Duty menu. I have a dog that looks exactly fucking like that, and then I had to kill a bunch of dogs that look exactly fucking like that. So and it would have been the same if it was like Rottweilers or something. But any dog for that matter. It's dogs. It sucks. And then, I guess for overall experience, I did enjoy the shit out of it. Like it kind of sucks that Abby got all the really good weapons, and Ellie didn't. But I enjoyed playing for the most part. I thought I do really like the first one better than the second one still.
Oh, that's but I really like the concept that they took both views of like the good guy and the bad guy, even though it kind of like lets you realize no matter what side of the war you're on, you think you're the good guy.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Which I thought was really a real good concept, and it like kind of made you feel for both sides, like no matter who wins or loses, you're someone's losing.
But there were just so many hard-headed people that did not care at all. Like, the only thing that stuck in their head was Joel was dead, and that was it. And then the entire time they were playing as Abby. Like, there's a part in the game where you're facing Ellie for the first time in a theater, and you have to play as Abby facing Ellie. Most of the people I saw on YouTube would just walk into the room and let Ellie shoot. Kill me, thank you, game over. Like, so.
No. See, I felt it was kind of surreal to see Ellie from that perspective.
I get that, but this is what people were doing.
I know.
Like, this is what, and then like they would find the first cliff and throw Abby right off. They didn't care about her story at all, because I'll tell you why. Hold on, I'm not
so angry. I'm sorry.
I know you're angry. I know, but this is opinions that I want across the board. The reason why is because they feel like they had no backstory of her. Like they literally they jumped into killing Joel, and then you have to go back to play her. It would have been, most people would have preferred, from what they said, is to have played her first without even knowing that Joel had died later. That comes much later. So there's a more of a relationship grown throughout the game. So like a lot of people thought that these characters were undeveloped, very undeveloped.
I think that whenever you go into a game and you expect lore and backstory and you expect to know all the things as sort of the audience and playing the character, I think that's unfair. I think for me, when I was playing that game, whenever at the very beginning of the game, whenever she said, I'm looking for this person and we're going to do whatever we got to do to find them, there was a part of me that was in complete denial. No, that's not Joel. They're not looking for Joel. They're looking for somebody else. It could be anybody else. Even at the back of my mind, I was like, obviously, there's some, relationship here. There's something going on. And of course, when the trailer first came out and Ellie, it was, teased that she was, like, going after people for something, I was like, it has to be Joel dying. Like, that has to be the thing, So, in the back of my mind, I knew that it was coming, but the way that they did it, like, I didn't think that it was going to go down like that. And whenever she just, pulled a shotgun out,
It was
and
quite
I was
shocking.
like gasping.
It was shocking.
I was like,
my hand was over my mouth.
I'm playing it, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. I will say though that yes, maybe you didn't get to know all the things, or they did things out of order. I remember that people were complaining about the trailer showing, like, misleading and making it seem like Joel was alive or whatever. That's the thing, though, is, like, I think people are used to maybe a movie trailer or, I don't know, something. First off, I just want to say in general, I think audiences are spoiled at this point. If you think that you get to sign a petition to, like, bring characters back or reshoot something that you don't agree with, then you're paying to be entertained. You might not like the story, but it is what it is. You have to respect the art of the people who made it. However,
they did that though in the Avengers Infinity War trailer, where there was a huge shot in the trailer where you see all the Avengers all together and they're all running together, and the one, obviously the biggest fucking Avenger, the Hulk, was running with them. But if you remember the movie, the Hulk never shows up the entire time. Like, literally the entire time.
So I understand
it's
about
fun to have misleading
hyping
stuff sometimes.
Yes,
I don't care about that.
don't want to be able to predict the story, especially in this game.
All.
Honestly, I was waiting for years for this game.
I was wondering how they're going to do trailers without misleading, without like telling us the story too much.
If I already knew before it came out. But
exactly.
But I will say, though, if you look at it from Abby's point of view, and I know everyone hated Abby and she was a piece of shit and blah, 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 I thought they did a great job with her. I think the only thing I didn't like about her was she looked like Brock Lesnar's Spawn, and that was weird. But other than that...
She trained to kill Joel.
Okay, but that's where I'm coming at from this. Or coming from, whatever. She grew up knowing that this dude was her dad for no reason.
There's a big reason.
Well, okay, but from her perspective, her father was a doctor and was trying to save lives and was a good, decent man. You see that. That's her, defining memory, is that he was a good man. Yeah, and he was killed by somebody.
We got to spend no time with those characters. Like, literally, who cares?
No, you totally played the scenes. You saw it.
I still didn't care. Like, when it happened, I cared nothing for those characters. Literally, because I spent so much time with Joel and Ellie in their relationship.
Yeah, and then they try to make people play with Abby, and everyone complains that they had to spend too much time with Abby. That's unfair. If you're complaining about the thing that you want because it wasn't good enough still, then I just don't understand. But regardless, nothing will take away the fact that I thought it was moving, disturbing,
absolutely,
horrifying at times. It was heartbreaking. It was also beautiful.
I loved,
yeah, exactly. I was laughing, crying, sobbing, scared, laughing again. It was ridiculous.
Did I tell you the most times that I cried, though?
Whenever the songs with the guitar? No. Okay.
The most times that I cried was the scenes with Joel and Ellie.
Well, yeah, because there's nostalgia, and there's an understood relationship there.
I didn't cry any other time. For sure.
I will say, speaking of the songs, I loved the guitar mechanisms. I totally enjoyed watching later on. Like, there's a ton of YouTube videos where people have played the guitar and made songs and music and sung, and they're legit good. I was like, holy crap, this is cool. Amazing. They introduced a lot of great things, and I think they did a great hybrid between sort of Uncharted and Last of Us, where you could climb things and go prone, and and obviously added things and stuff, and sort of updated a little bit. But I really enjoyed being able to interact with my environment a little bit more.
Gameplay was solid.
Oh yeah.
So I got a question. What do you guys think? Do you think there would be the outrage there is if you never got to play Ellie? Like, for example,
oh my
Part
God.
2 had nothing to do with them, and they used them in the.
That might have been
materials,
good because
and
then
you found out.
then they could have stretched out the story for 3, so that's when you see Joel die.
I think there would have been a huge amount of outrage if you did not play as Ellie and Joel, or either one or whatever.
Exactly.
For sure.
Well, like just imagine the twist though. Like if you were like a new character,
time.
Same area the whole time, and at the very end you find.
Yeah, you play as Abby the entire game from the beginning when she was little.
No,
until she grows up.
I think with rabid fans, there was no winning. I don't think. I would have felt cheated if I had to play as a completely different character while being called The Last of Us 2. Like, The Last of Us, for me, was Ellie and Joel had a relationship, and then it continues past, and then it picks up, and then you start the thing, and like shit goes down, but it is still their story in a way, and Abby was a key feature to that. So I enjoyed seeing her story. Honestly, her was it Owen, her lost boyfriend, whatever. I enjoyed their dynamic. I thought there was sweet moments. I felt like her urgency and fear of losing them. The dislike of some of the characters. I particularly enjoyed her friend in the city, the sniper scene, like all that stuff going down. And and same thing as in the first movie. Sometimes I view it as a movie. In the first game, the graphicness of deaths, like the violence and stuff. There were times when I was playing this game and I was like executing a billion people, or clickers or whatever, and I was just looking away from the screen because I just couldn't stomach any more of the gratuitous gore.
I loved it.
Their hair was stringy, and their skin was like nasty.
They added more blood. You could see the clothes that were teared off. Like they had
my stomach was
nudity.
hurting sometimes.
They actually had nudity and the shit. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Like they even like with the death gurgles. Like you hear them choking on their own blood for like quite some time.
Basically, they could have put me off playing the first one. I hate it.
They're the worst. They're so scary. Although I did like this time that when you're playing as Ellie, you have a knife. So rather than having to have like a shiv all the time.
Yeah, you did have to make shivs as Abby though, but she was like the Hulk anyway, so it didn't.
Oh god! And her executions are like breaking necks, and then Ellie's was like. Like stabbing into their throat and pulling it out.
Like digging and then stretching a big hole so that you can never fucking live again. And you're like,
but back to the lighter side, the snowball scene in the beginning, great. That was a great way to introduce the throwing of yeah. They did. I think they did everything just perfect.
Yeah, I thought
was not dissatisfied at all.
The voice acting all around though, for each character, for every character was solid. It's not even
Naughty Dog
with voice acting. It's ridiculous, dude. Like they if they had Oscars for video games, this would obviously win.
Yeah.
Because it's ridiculous. I mean, I know they do, but I'm talking about for like the voice acting alone. Like it's just
Did the game start off as strong as the first one? Like there was nothing when you were playing. This.
That was oh my gosh! I still cry when I go back and play that.
That's the first one. Has the best intro to any game I've ever fucking played.
That was
the second one.
That's what hooked me to that game.
I think the first emotional part that I'm remembering, and I can't quite remember how early it was in because it was such a blur for me at the same time, was whenever Joel sat down with the guitar and did a song for her, and you could tell this was the thing, you could tell that there was something off with them because they were close and everything was good at the end of the last game, or seemed to be, and then this one, it basically starts off with they had a fight or whatever, or like something had happened, but this was like another scene, and it was more awkward and sort of like standoffish, and I was like, whoa, this was like younger Ellie, and she had this attitude, but it was really awkward. I don't know, it just felt weird, and I was like, what the heck happened? And then later on you figure it out because he finally like fessed up to her. And she finally found out what happened way back when, and so it definitely wasn't in order, but I thought they conveyed the emotion. And whenever he sat down and sang that song, like I was just sobbing. Honestly, it was craziness. I'm sitting here in the living room playing this game, and I was just sobbing my eyes out.
That's the Pearl Jam song.
Awful. I know. Well, and I went back and actually looked up some of these songs later, and when I found that out, I just kind of laughed because, I mean, I'm not a true
that one,
huge
and then
fan
when
of Pearl Jam,
Ellie,
but
when Ellie sang "Take on Me."
Oh my gosh! I know.
That one was absolutely.
And her
beautiful.
voice, she did such a great
Wait,
job.
what was that?
Yeah, it was a nice little rendition, like the way
She did a cover, and was singing.
On Me.
And I suppose we could briefly touch the gender and sexuality themes and such in the game.
Oh, that never bothered me one bit. I don't care.
It didn't bother me either.
I live in the tri-state area. That shit don't bother me, bro.
Well, I think that's one of the things that was really good about the first one. Like, everybody wants to add that kind of stuff into games and wants to make a big fucking deal about it.
Well, they did, though.
But you know what? But
in the first game, they had that side story.
But you didn't care. You realized that this person is just a person.
It doesn't matter.
That doesn't change who they are, right? Like, why do we need to, shoehorn stuff in and be like, oh, you're a gay character or whatever?
Well,
you're just a regular.
But they never say it, though. They never actually say it. There's no words that say anything.
That's what I like in games when they fish or shoehorn it in. That's what I hate. When
they do that with everything.
It's not important to who that person is because it doesn't make them different.
It doesn't.
You want to make them different. I think that's
what it makes a person is just their decisions throughout the game.
So I will say that I do mostly agree with that, but I do think that representation is important. And so I think that media is dominated by specific things, typically white straight guys. That's just what it is. So now you play games like Apex or something like that where they have a super diverse cast. It isn't necessarily they don't come out and say, I'm a black guy, I'm a Spanish guy, I'm gender neutral or whatever. I don't feel like it has to be labeled or thrown in your face. You can just see it, they live it, it just is what it is. But I also, at the same time, am frustrated whenever I go on, and I had a friend on my friends list who messaged me about playing Last of Us 2, and was like, oh, I can't believe they made Ellie a lesbian. And I was like, where have you been? This was obvious. Seriously. I was like, this was a thing that happened. But second off, you just started the game and you're this is what you're going to complain about? Really? This is the thing? I do think that representation is important. And I think that it's fair to show people how they are. Like the fact that we saw Ellie making out with a chick, or
this is stuff that's been going on for centuries.
But this is the thing is, while I don't think that she has to come out with a label on her forehead that says I am gay, I do appreciate that they showed an intimate moment or several with the person that she chose to be with and treated it as normal. It wasn't like we were.
They did it with respect and
with
class.
And I think there are all kinds of people, gay, straight, or otherwise, and some of them are normal, and some of them are more extra or not, more stoic.
I think it's stupid that people spend too much time trying to figure out who the fuck is who. It's like, who's gay? Who's transgender? Who cares?
Well, the point of it is that it's your identity and it's what makes you comfortable and who you are and who you spend time with and all that kind of stuff. But there are tons of issues with people who do things differently, or else we wouldn't be having the problems that we're having. We wouldn't be having, and this is taking it out of the game, but in real life, we have these problems. So it hurts me when I see people misdirect hate and anger at fictional characters for such ignorant reasons, and so I think that she was, we saw two very strong female characters, and one was obviously straight and one wasn't, and I enjoyed the hell out of both of them, and it didn't matter to me, but it does annoy the shit out of me that people will cheapen this game and experience because they don't like that aspect, or the trans aspect, or anything like that. So I think they did a good job of that too, of showing somebody who wasn't comfortable with themselves.
Trans in the game, Abby wasn't trans.
She made a friend later in the game who was part of a culture that was like more, into the earth, and they didn't use like crazy weapons as much. Like they were more, I don't know, it felt more like old style. Yeah, but it was a child who was not comfortable with the way that they were born, and so they made changes to themselves, which and so the way that they brought it in felt pretty organic in a way, because it was just like, this was just something that happened, and you sort of had to put two and two together at first to start trying to like figure it out, and then they actually openly talk about it, and it was just a thing. Like it didn't change the whole story, but it was part of their story. And I think in general that's people's lives. Like that's your story or their story, and it's not any necessarily anyone's business. But it was just part of what it was, and so it did not bother me at all. And I hate that it does bother people, but that's the world that we live in. But overall, I felt like it was it was interesting.
Though? Like, I mean, are you bothered by people that are bothered by the thought of cutting your dick off? Like, that's bothersome.
Well, I don't think it's quite that simple.
That's their decision, homie. Never be yours. Don't worry about it.
I'm just like, let people do their thing. And
it's like people do lots of things in the world, and I don't necessarily mind.
We're not sitting here wondering like how regular someone's bowel movements are, and if they're more or less so than ours, then they're freaky and we don't want to talk to them.
In Star Wars, the last Star Wars that came out, at the end they had that scene right at the end. I don't know if anyone saw it, but the two chicks run together and they kiss.
Yeah.
And I thought, it looks like to me, straight away, I didn't feel, that was beautiful. I just thought, another scheme, another type of agenda.
Yeah, like they've got like.
I thought it was an agenda, and a few days later, I found out they cut it out of the Chinese version because they didn't want to offend them. And I'm like, what? Like,
see, I view it as, again, representation. Like, these people were in a war and a battle, and they have loved ones, and sometimes it doesn't look like your typical man, woman, 2.3 kids, dog, 2-car garage relationship.
They did that in the V for Vendetta. Nobody cared then.
I think, okay, so it feels like it's being shoehorned in, or that there's an agenda because it's finally being represented, so it feels like it's getting pushed in your face. It feels like that because no one's ever seen it. It's what?
Yes, we have. That's the thing. Like, I don't know how come people have forgotten, but gay people and that have been out for a very long time. And there's been many movies and many things about it.
Well, if that's the case, then I feel like at that point it's just
like a fad.
I think it's just part of natural life, and it's not enough for me to comment on, even though I see it and it is like I see it. You know what I mean? Like I notice, yes, that these two girls kiss each other.
Yeah, but there's also reasons why. Like there's like a lot of ridicule, like in America. I mean, like that there's the club that was there. There was one of those homosexual clubs, and somebody just went in there and just started shooting everybody because they were gay. Like that's the only reason. Like there's no reason for that type of stuff. And then when people get mad when they get represented into a movie, of course they're gonna get represented because like people just like are mean for no reason. Like it just makes no sense. And,
well, it's yeah, you'll not always know the motives of crazy people. Anyway, sorry.
From games.
We're not talking politically. Okay, we're talking about in a video game. It is just part of the story. Yeah. It's just part of the story.
We're all in agreements that they did a very elegant job.
They did a great job.
They did a great job.
Yeah.
Oh, the game?
Like everybody.
I mean, like the animation. That's
like that game. They did a great job.
Like the animation for Abby was even better. Like just the way you could see her muscles popping when she's punching and that. And I was like, holy shit.
Oh yeah.
Like, this could be a
she was beefy as shit. I totally was inspired. I'm like, I'm gonna go to the gym today. Now then, COVID's here, so I'm not actually going to the gym. But I wanted to. Although, did you guys see the articles? Like, people were complaining because they said there's like no way that she could be that strong and muscular, and they were like, she has to be on steroids. She's not eating that good.
Girls walking like that down the street. You know what
And
I'm
I'm
saying?
like, these people are
that's
eating
it.
okay, and they have a gym, and they literally just train all the
I went to the
time.
grocery.
Like,
I went
come
to the
on.
grocery store the other day. This chick was beefed, yo. She was like
See-
muscles. I'm like, yo, what's
Mm-hmm.
good?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do my best to try to avoid people's opinion as much as I can, and then make it up
Same.
for myself. Like if I see some clips and I'm like, oh my god, that looks good,
Yeah.
I'll check it out. I just like The Last of Us. I've got Final Fantasy VII. I've got like all these games, and now I'm like glued to Apex. I'm just like
We're gonna
I
talk
know
about
if I
that too,
start that, I'm not.
and why I gravitated towards that being the best battle royale.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then
Because I
that sounds
No,
like a
that's
perfectly
not-
natural
we'll talk
segue
later.
into
Is it a
changing
segue?
to a different game.
Is
I
it?
said
Are we
I said
talking
all I
about?
needed to say.
Are we
So-
talking about the opinions on
Yeah.
season 5? Because we can start there, like compared to obviously the previous seasons. How
Well-
has season 5 been treating you?
Oh, season 5 is good, but I feel like they need a buff.
Well, they need to buff
Maybe we'll see
Loba.
my
They
name.
need to buff Octane again. They need But look, no, I've enjoyed
Octane's just
season 5 all around, with them adding this whole lore thing, more from the Titanfall universe, connecting that back to Titanfall, which is a game that I hold dear to my heart. And then you have this game which connects to that, and they're just fleshing it out more and more, and I actually really love it. I love the story that's happening. I love these characters are all different and diverse, and they have their own backgrounds, their own stories, their own reasons for being in the Apex games. It's fun because no other battle. I was saying this, for no other battle royale does this. Every other battle royale is generic. There's just characters that you customize, you make them your own, and you are that. You are that character, but in Apex, you get to become someone else, and they have a story, and no other battle royale does that.
Don't you think it would be cool if they started to like lean more on how the quests are and make it more like a single player story?
They could.
missions?
I think it would be
Like-
good if you
like,
couldn't
say,
do it with a team, because I think it makes it that much harder. Because the time we did it with only 2 people, we almost fucking died a lot.
Yeah,
And then the same thing with I think Kendra said she actually had died when she did it with Devin. So yeah, I just think
Oh, I think we lost her.
No, I popped out. It's alright.
he's out of the thing. I think
Oh,
where's
okay.
where's Purple Unicorn? I don't hear Unicorn.
I'm here.
Oh, she's here.
Oh, she's
Okay,
here.
so yeah, no. That would be fun if they were all single player experience. That's fine. I don't mind that. Because again, Titanfall 2's story is still possibly one of the most entertaining stories you can ever play. Exactly. The new season that's coming out. I don't know exactly what's coming. We know that there's a new map. We got teased about the new map or the new area, whatever it's spaceship, whatever it's gonna be.
I hope it's a map.
I hope it's a whole map. Because they talked about going to a different planet, which hopefully that
I heard-
spaceship
I've been
is
hearing
on
rumors
that
of
planet.
like a sky city, so I'm hoping it's a new map, but that it looks
But it's
like
on
a
the
sky
sky.
city.
Because you
Yeah.
can fall off the map in every fucking game. So
Yeah, exactly.
there's got to be
Exactly.
something, right? So where you can fall off the map. It was on the ground of, like, oh, I'm out of bounds. I can just go back in. No, there has to be a way to fall off somewhere, I guess, at the edge of every map in Apex. So
Damn it.
yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping that what Olympus is more like if you've seen Star Wars, you know what Bespin is, or what better more what Cloud City is, which is on the planet Bespin. And Cloud City is where Lando Calrissian comes from, and it's a huge city in the sky. It just floats there in the clouds, and then exactly what and think about these maps in Apex. They're not big. They're not big. They're not Warzone big. They're not Fortnite big. These maps are manageable. You know where each area is. They're not hard to get to once you know where you're going. You're like, okay, we need to go there. It takes a couple minutes to get to each area and rotate where you need to rotate in this game. It's not like the game is huge. So it can be this very large city floating above a planet. Maybe similar to like the boat in The Fifth Element, where they took their vacation. Where it's just this big giant place where there's so much to do, and you can have a battle royale there. And I cannot fucking wait for that, because if it is more like Angel City, I'm hoping it could be fun. It couldn't be fun. There's a lot of cover, to be taken on cities and stuff like that, and rooftops.
Well,
to
yeah.
be
Well, just imagine
held.
like Skyhook.
Oh, yeah.
Just
a bigger,
Skyhook.
like a bigger skyhook. But yeah, like I said, if you played Angel City, it's more like there's a lot of theaters and posters and stuff everywhere, and it might have been teased, in the Loba trailer that we've already seen with her just kind of rolling around stealing shit from people, which I heard was on Olympus. But yeah, I'm excited for the next season. But she needs a buff as always. What's up?
Oh, I was gonna say we're looking at less than 3 weeks at this point.
Yeah. I think all the skins have been dope.
What is it? 23 days?
Oh, okay.
23 days?
Yeah, I think all the skins have been dope as fuck. I actually today, was it today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I was bored as hell. I think was it when you were doing your D&D and stuff. I just got bored. I was playing. First, I played a little bit of Rogue, but then after 2 games, I switched over to Apex, and then I was playing, and then I'm winning a game, I think, but I was still like, now what? And then so I just went and bought the Bloodhound thing for $12 because it's still on sale. And I got the Bloodhound stuff, and I already had 1,000 from getting the Octane one a few weeks back. So I had like 2,000 coins, and so I bought the $700 legendary thing from the store, where it gives you the 1 legendary pack and 7 rare ones.
Oh, yeah, the 700 gold one. Yeah.
So they gave me a legendary Pathfinder skin called the Aviator.
Ooh.
And then I got a few purples from those rare packs too. Like they weren't just all blues and whites. I got every now and again a purple would pop, but no other gold other than that. But a lot of purple.
So many packs now, I just get fucking.
Yeah, they gave me one of them was an epic or something for the crafting metal. I had like 200 crafting metal, so it put me at like 1,000 crafting metal now. But yeah. So that's my opinion on why I'm gravitating towards Apex and why I love it more than other battle royales.
Yeah, it feels like
you can go and compare it to Call of Duty and stuff right now if you want.
Good in that game. Yeah, they go. Call of Duty. With my problem is you die way too quick. You don't have a chance when somebody's gone.
Well, I think the map is extremely large. There's so many points you can get shot from. And then I saw it like in one of those guys' YouTube, Summit 1G, and he's like, "Oh, I love this buy station where I can get shot from here, from that mountain, from that tree, from that mountain, from that building, from here, from that window, from that window." It was like, yes,
And in a particularly unlucky lobby, you will get shot at in all directions at the same time.
All directions, and it doesn't matter. Like, oh, there's a team over there, and everyone's shooting them. Let's do the same thing. Let's not shoot at the other teams that are already. No, it's just it feels like. Every time I get hit with a cruise missile in multiplayer, I feel like it's always me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that's why I feel about Call of Duty. But I still love the multiplayer experience. I got really good at the sniping, better than I've ever been. So
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're
my movement.
We're rolling on 40 minutes, and I wanted to talk to Seraphim about Dreams.
Ooh.
I know you've spent the most time on that. And you've got the most time in it so far. I've only briefly touched on it. I've only screwed around a little bit, but I know you spent probably a couple hours on it now. Like, what's your opinion now that Dreams has VR?
Well, that depends on if you're on the Pro or on the original. Because I've just found out that some games don't run too well on the original. So it kicks you out the VR. Puts you back in it.
Well, let's just say best experience, because moving forward, I think it is coming over with how much time they're spending with it. I think they're going to bring it over to PlayStation 5.
If that happens, that's insane. Like, the graphics are really good in VR. But when you start adding too much stuff, like too many trees or whatever, it will start looking blurry. So it's this big balancing act. But so the PS5.
So now with the graphics and the frame rate, kind of like. You have to juggle them now?
Yeah, it can be annoying. It actually limits a lot. Yeah.
But there are videos out there by like Dave Station and PSVR without Pro that have like top 5 experiences in Dreams VR right now. I should check those out if anybody's listening. But yeah. I've seen Seraphim play a couple of his games. They were really cool looking.
Yeah, so I have Space Harrier remake. And that I just got working in VR a little better. It wasn't so great.
Yeah, I watched your stream where you were trying to get it to work, and you had to individually go in and change everything. Is each object you have to change into
No.
3D, or each?
Well, that's the
level?
good thing about Dreams. Like, pretty much everything is VR ready. Every object.
That's
You just have to
insane.
change.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's really cool. But you got to change the scaling for your camera position, or you're too big or too small, or you have to change the size of the objects. Either way, that's one thing you have to change. And then you have to make sure it runs smoothly. If it drops under 30 frames per second or whatever it is, 60 or something, it'll cut off, and you have to like rethink about what you're doing to make it cleaner. So you can optimize.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna see some pretty cool content coming out of.
Well, the one I'm most
Dreams
proud of is
in
my
VR.
pinball, because it looks real. It looks like an actual pinball machine, like at the right size and everything. And that's a really fun game. And the Samurai one, a demo I'm working on, that's kind of like ripping off Ghost of Tsushima. How do you say it? Ghost of
Tsushima.
Ghost of
Tsushima.
Tsushima.
Yeah, Tsushima. There you go.
Ghost of
Which we
Tsushima.
should talk about too.
Which next? Well, I think now that we're running so late, like we'll just lean on Dreams, and then our next podcast we'll talk about that. Where me and you will have like a little bit more time.
Sure.
Like I'm still playing
Yeah, I haven't.
Well, I'm still
three or 4
to
hours.
talk
now.
about
and I know Lewis is
Tsushima.
trying to.
Yeah,
get
it was
that
Tsushima.
too.
That's like, man, I want that game bad. Like, I've seen some stuff, and I'm like, wow. And then,
There are some
so
Twitter clips that are.
It looks so good.
That got me to.
yeah,
pick
and
it.
then
It's
like,
right up
and-
there with Last of
So
Us,
good.
almost like with the graphic. Comparing the you can't really compare,
The-
but
right. Yeah, I mean, it looks
freaking-
good.
It's hard, dude. It's hard. Like I'm not the best at those kind of like timing games. I used to play a lot of Assassin's Creed and stuff, but now mostly first-person
Yeah,
shooters.
that's what I'm afraid
Switching
of,
over
like
to,
playing
like,
it for a little bit.
Combat.
Because
it's
if I feel like it's too difficult, I
just-
might stop playing.
Well, I always go in cocky, right? Like, I always go in cocky. I'm like, I'm not playing this. I'm not playing it easy. Like, there's no fucking way. I'll go to at least medium. So I played it on medium. I'm like 3 hours in. I'm like, this. The timing is so.
that's strange because like easy's
But-
too easy. It sounds, and medium's too hard. So it's like
Yeah, they need a patch. They need a patch.
I No, I'm not gonna. I wouldn't even complain. I just need to. You need to go in knowing that you need to play slow.
Mhm.
It's not
No.
a hack and slash game.
it's a
not-
beautiful, boring
it's a
game.
timing.
That's what I would say. That's my summing on that. It's boring as that shit.
I don't know. I'm just
but
running. I'm running like quest.
I know
to
people that are
quest.
loving this game. I don't know. I don't know
The
that.
story's
There's people that are
okay.
loving
I
it.
haven't like finished it yet. I love it. Like it's one of the most beautiful games. Most serene. Like I go in there just to relax. Like I played it for like 10, nearly 20 hours so far, but I still haven't touched on the story because I'm just doing all the side quests. They kind of suck me in because like on the map you're kind of defeating each little circle and then you're like crossing them off, and another one pops up and I'm like, fuck, I gotta catch them all. I'm kind of like,
The completionist in me is very
No,
excited by that.
it's yeah, that's like Skyrim, dude. It's literally like Skyrim,
it's
like where
really-
you're like
it's really
rolling
good.
around, like what's in that castle, what's in that area,
Mhm.
what's in, and you forget
Yeah.
about the
it's a
story
big map, too.
completely.
Like, I was surprised
It's like
by it.
that, yeah. I don't know,
Awesome.
but next week, I didn't get a chance last week. I was helping my brother move, and this week on my muscles and body were feeling it. But next week I want to try to play 2 more VR games. One that already came out, Crisis VR, Crisis Brigade. I'm sorry, Crisis Brigade
Oh, yeah.
2.
Yeah.
I bought it. I bought it. It's like $20, and it looks really good. I heard good things, and I just want to stream it, just for for shits
I'd
and
have to
giggles.
look. Yeah, I'd like to
And
know how it is.
then this week, Pistol Whip comes out for.
Does
I think it's gonna come out for about
That
$25.
looks really good.
USA money, $25.
USA money?
USA money, whoever, because we got Australia
Yeah, you
and
got a
Canadian.
and you got an
It's like
Australian, so
$500 Australian.
we're very
US
good at
dollar.
this.
I meant to say US
We're very
dollars.
good.
I'm nervous. Sorry, but
Yeah, that's okay.
yeah. So yeah,
Will come out on the 28th?
Pistol Whipped. Yes.
Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
Tuesday.
exciting.
Yeah, Skater XL comes out on Tuesday. Pistol Whip comes
Yes.
out on
So
Tuesday. So I'm gonna be.
I'm gonna be
picking up Skater
picking
XL
up
for
the
sure.
Pistol Whip, and I'll play Crisis Brigade, and I'll let you know how that is next week.
I will also chime in because I will
PurpleUnicorn.
totally have that pistol.
I want to
game.
play
I
Squadron.
I love VR rhythm and rhythm
And
games
shooting.
and like shooting. I know. I play Audica. I play it all the
Yes.
time. I play Beat Saber. I
still got it,
definitely
yeah.
plan on playing this for
I
sure.
was trying to get her,
So
trying to get you
never-
addicted to Firewall, and never happens. Never happens.
Never.
Now that Dreams has VR, is that something that you might
I
pick up
might.
on?
I did like the little trial of Dreams, and I enjoyed, oh gosh, interacting with the environment. Of course, when you do the trial, you can only play approved games, so you can't really delve into any of the player-made ones. They just have like these specific ones, and it was really fun. One of the ones I tried was like it looked like a board game, and so, you know, you're jumping and running, and it was so interactive, and it felt really immersive. It was really fun. There was also a puzzle one that I tried where you had to like rotate the puzzle, and there was different things you had to do, and then you like move to the next block, and and it would like change the whole entire world, like how you're looking at it, and it would make it easier to do things or harder depending on if you did it wrong. And it was really fun. I enjoyed it, but at the same time, same with like, and I know it's not on the same level, but like Little Big Planet and things like that, where there's a player-made section. I enjoy playing them. Some people do, I mean, just amazing things. They're like so creative, so well thought out. Same with even like Super Mario Maker and stuff like that. Some of them are so well done. They just require so much thought, so much planning. I enjoy playing them, but I don't think I'm so good at making them. And so Dreams feels very much like it's more focused on the making. And so I don't know about all that. But I like what I saw.
A lot of creations to play.
Wouldn't it be cool if they split the game in portions? You know, like they had a creator and they had a player portion, or you could get them both. So let's say creator is both, like you get a bigger package. But if you just wanted to play the content,
pay half price,
a $20.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I think that would be kind of cool. That would definitely be more incentive for me to get it, just because, obviously, since I'm not doing part of it, then I don't want to pay as much for it. But, I mean, I respect that they put it in there for anybody to try, and who knows, if I tried it, maybe I could do something cool with it. I think with games like that, though, they take a lot of investment of time, and and these days, I just don't really like starting a whole lot of new stuff.
Speaking of,
really cool
so I'm not quite ready for it yet.
Speaking of time, I know we're getting close to the end, so I kind of want like a little quick 60 seconds on the clock here. But there was a lot of exactly. There was a lot of gameplay released for Star Wars Squadrons this week, and it was a lot showing that at least the prologue is going to take an hour alone. The game is a lot. There is a team deathmatch type mode. Obviously, it's called Dogfight, but it's going to be their big mode is the fleet battle, and this is more. And then what I hear is this is going to take. It's just not like the other games where you really have to manage your power, stuff like that, and it's going to be a lot more intricate than any other. Like they want to go all in. Like this is going to be a flight game for real. Like. And there's a lot of things that they were showing off, which means that they're confident that they're still already showing, you know, good footage off 2 months. Before the I was gonna say before the release date, which is October 2nd, they're already showing off. So they're
that's getting so close to PlayStation 5.
Yeah. Well, that's so gonna carry over, of course, and then you know, because I'm pretty sure they, you know, like once you buy the game, you can get it for free. On 5 if you already have it on 4. That would be nice. That's the thing that they're doing anyway right now, from what I heard most games anyway. And but yeah, so like a whole lot of stuff shown. Squadrons looks awesome. October 2nd. Can't come any sooner.
I know you're thrilled about that one. I fully plan on playing it.
VR.
I definitely want to try it, but you know, when you're talking about your diverting power or this and that, I see me like having completely mismanaged my resources, and I'm just like a floating rock out off the side of the battle.
No, because it's only 3 things. It's like shields, weapons, and like your thrusters. And literally the guy, they made everyone play on a controller at this kind of like at home event. And everyone says that it's easy to divert your power because all you're doing is literally hitting the D-pad like left, right, up, and down just to divert the power.
What do you guys think about VR flying games though?
Oh,
Do you find that your stomach gets like kind of crazy and floppy, or you feel good?
Maybe you guys, but I've been using VR for a long time. So
No,
I
man.
played Ultra Wings and Eve Valkyrie and stuff like that. I love flying and Star Blood
okay
Arena.
Okay.
Fly all day for me. I cannot wait.
All right. Well.
Yeah, I feel though. I don't handle them very good.
Yeah, I wonder.
I like games where I say.
Yeah, right. Well, I look forward to trying it, but
yeah, well,
no
guys, if you guys don't play VR as much as the average Joe, then your legs just won't be there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Maybe we're the average and you're the.
How is that
he's
possible?
He's just
I
ahead.
played so
He's
much
just ahead.
VR.
Yeah. Well, that's not the average, maybe, is what he's saying.
More than better than average, because I can actually have VR
Yeah.
legs. I can play flying games. I can move around as fast as I want in VR and feel nothing.
I've
amazing.
I've
love
gotten
it so
better at
much.
it for sure. But I do look forward to giving it a go, and if
We're
it's too much,
VR
then
veterans for
we'll
life.
just try to work up to it or something. But...
Absolutely.
I'll make a game that make you throw up, bro, like in dreams.
In dreams.
I'll
Call it the dishwasher.
Definitely. I'll probably get in trouble for it, but I'm gonna make it. It's gonna make everyone just throw up instantly.
Oh, great.
No, but
Well,
there's
let us
so many
know
games,
whenever you do.
Like in dreams, you can just scroll through like all these VR ones, like one after the other. It's like 50.
Yeah, there's
60
a lot. I
screens
heard.
in an hour.
There's a lot already. There's gonna be
And
so
they're all
much
pretty
more.
impressive too.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's why, it's kind of a cool idea that they did.
Just
add
got the
VR to
PS5
games,
demo in
like, so
there. Remember
late.
that demo with the rocks and that person jumps off? For the PS5 tech demo, the first one, with all the rocks falling in the cave and all the statues.
Oh yeah.
Someone recreated that in Dreams, and it's in VR. No shit. And it looks
Oh,
amazing.
I bet that is cool.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's pretty crazy.
I don't think I'll be getting dreams though. I just like hearing about everyone's experiences.
On the PS5,
it's something that I don't really play often because I'm playing a bunch of other games right now.
I know this
so.
about you, Lewis. You're not a creator.
No, definitely not a
You don't
creator.
Same.
Like create stuff. You don't like No Man's Sky.
No, I do like that
You don't
though.
like anything that where you
No.
build stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a builder, creator. I never
I'm like a
when I was a kid.
Resource harvester. I'm good at
Yeah.
that.
When I was a kid and someone was like, "Oh, this is a cool game," and it was The Sims, and it turned me off completely from those games ever since. But not like there's other games I played, like single player experiences. I played all the Assassin's Creed, God of War. I mean, those games are fucking amazing. I can't wait for the next God of War game. Please give me that game now. Take all my money.
I'm excited about that one too.
And that's gonna be PS5, time time that comes out. Imagine that game's gonna look. That's gonna blow my brain
the
away.
orange blood in that game? How come we love that game so much?
Because they were made out of lava, Seraphim. Just get over it.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Lava. Like, this whole time,
Excellent.
I'm like, why is it orange? No, but I like the original the best. That blew me away when I first played that as a kid. So yeah.
The kids, they were great, but they switched it up to a point where they made God of War. They made me care about him.
I hope they don't go.
They made me
Assassin's
care about
Creed
him
on
and that fucking kid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The gameplay though.
That's one I haven't
It was
played.
pretty good.
So good, dude. So
It was
fucking
good.
good. Side quest and
Honestly,
all.
that was
so
the
good.
first that was the first God of War game I ever played. So
And you
I felt
loved
like
it.
I loved it. It was so good. I didn't
It
have
was
any
so
previous
good.
experience though, so.
Well, I showed you
just
videos of
enjoyed
what
it.
the old one looked like. No, you don't need
Yeah.
to play those old ones. They're like hack and slash. And
Yeah,
everything,
yeah, yeah.
everything,
Which I do love
everything in the
hack and
cutscenes, everything in the cutscenes is just Kratos yelling, "I am the greatest!" La la la, and it's like that's it. And then, and the new one, they went like dramatic with it. He was,
Oh, yeah.
he was low tone, down to earth. It was beautiful.
A lot from what
They
were.
took a lot from The Last of
What
Us,
were you
but it
gonna
was
say,
good.
sir?
It was
Have you
good.
seen the new Halo trailer? There's no blood in that either. There's no lava.
No.
I do
don't-
like
I
blood
don't
in
wanna talk
games.
about
I do
the
like
place-
blood.
the-
Well,
the
Xbox. Can we talk about that
It's
next
like,
time? Can we talk about that next time then?
Yeah, the graphics are worse than the original.
You guys want to talk about?
No,
like,
next
No.
time. No.
No. I'll just
We
say I
can
saw
say it was
side
really
by
bad,
side.
and that was it. We
I
can say it
saw
was really
side
bad.
by side, and I was
Next subject.
disappointed. I was disappointed for all the Xbox people.
yeah,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, like I
So you
own
seen
all
it?
the systems, and I really don't feel like buying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that live. I watched their event, and I'm like,
It was a bad event.
this
Next
does not make
subject.
me wanna- it makes it literally secured the fact that I'm gonna wait until that shit goes on sale if I want
if.
one.
If.
And I'm a big Halo fan. Like Halo
Right?
is my shit. That's a whole reason I bought an Xbox One, was just to play Halo. And I'm like,
I thought, like, I haven't played Xbox in a long time, but
Not even VR.
I saw the list of the games that were coming out, and so many of them were remakes, or seemed to be anyway. I didn't see the full list.
Oh, it's sequels.
But there was a
and stuff,
ton of remakes, and I was just like, I don't know. I want like original games or different things. I don't want the same thing reiterated over and over. Like Halo, I loved Halo, but like if they're just making another Halo, or I can't even remember the list now. I'm like looking for it right now.
They got Tetris Express or FX, which is literally in PlayStation VR
Yeah, it's
right
in VR.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Like all you do is take it out of VR and put it on a flat screen and add some extra multiplayer. Oh, it's a brand new game. You guys got to buy the
No,
Xbox.
no.
And like I think it was the first 75% of their event was games that are going to all systems.
Mm-hmm.
That aren't, and then the last little bit was pretty much what was.
Yeah, there's a guy who I watch on
Oh.
YouTube who literally had all of the games listed on a whiteboard, and he was just like, "This game, I don't care. This game, I don't care. This game,
Hey,
I
Flight
don't
Sim
care. This
2020
game."
is the only
It was
one.
hilarious, dude.
Did you guys?
that
Well, I'm
makes
sorry.
any sense. Flight Sim 2020 is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is the only one that they've got over us. It's the only game that I want.
But is that
Yeah, but that's for people that really
I
like
would
flight
think
sims,
so.
though.
The next
Like,
gen.
how many people like flight sims?
You can fly
It's
to your
just how
house.
good it looks. It's
You can play
amazing.
your
It's
house.
amazing looking.
It's like Google Earth, basically.
It comes on.
It's on PC,
It comes
though.
on 10 discs. It comes
Oh
on
my
10
God.
discs.
And it's VR on PC.
Isn't that insane?
You can't even fit 10 discs on my
I
shelf.
would, yeah, I would imagine.
Oh, that's if you want to keep the. You can play
I don't
online.
think I own 10 PlayStation
Yeah, exactly.
games.
The hard
the hard
copies,
copies,
yeah.
I
I got
doubt
like
it.
4, maybe 3.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for the PS5. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
gonna
are
be
you gonna get the
amazing.
digital or the hard
I'm
disk
going
version?
digital.
I'm gonna get the disc one. I want the disc one.
I'm getting the disc.
I'm probably
I
getting
want
it
it because I
digital.
want it to be backwards compatible with anything I might want to play if it is not a PS5 game or something. If there's something that I can still play or
No, never go back. Let's
never
always go forward.
back.
One step in front of the other.
Oh,
One foot in front of the other.
Yeah, I think that's the difference between the PlayStation and the Xbox. Xbox is just going backwards.
Yeah.
They're like that's more backwards compatible. Xbox One, like original
Yeah.
Xbox games are more important than like focusing on like.
Well,
getting
there's that
new
nostalgia
titles
factor
and
again.
stuff.
That works for a lot of people. So.
That's my
I'm a
background.
nostalgic
You just don't
motherfucker. I'm a
buy those.
sentimental nostalgic motherfucker. Nostalgia
Aren't we
gets
all?
me every time. Like it gets me every time.
But
So
that's just seasonings on
I
top.
know,
Yeah.
Though. It
but
can't be
Well,
the
I thought I
whole
saw
thing, you know?
Fable. Do you guys remember playing Fable forever ago? I played it.
no, I didn't play those games.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that an
they're
RPG?
Yeah, I
like they're
played
just
it.
re-releasing it. I don't know. It's not a new one.
No, it's a new
Okay.
one. It's a new one, but once again with their what they've got so far, that game isn't coming out next year. It's not coming out 2021. It's aimed for 2022.
Oh, wow.
Like they're just showing it to be like, here's a hook. buy
No.
it. Like they don't.
Microsoft
have
is
anything.
aware that
Most of
nobody
the
cares,
games that
right?
they have,
Microsoft are they aware that nobody gives a shit?
They think
Oh,
they do.
man.
I think they're banked more on the Game Pass. Like I don't want to sound like people that play Xbox are broke, but they are leaning hard on people that they want to get all the casual players because Game Pass is amazing. You pay what $10 a month and you have access to all their games.
That's ridiculous.
amazing.
Yeah. No, I think that's
But
cool.
that makes sense to them. In a business stance, they're making a shit ton of money doing that because more people are more likely to spend $10 and have access to all these games, and they don't care what these games are. Like, of course, they want good games, but they don't want to spend $60 or $70 on one game a month, but they'll spend $10.
I don't know. I would never
every
trade
month
that
for
for
a
the
year.
PlayStation experience, including the VR.
Yeah, oh, straight up. But I think that's aimed for, like, for example, like my mom when I was a kid would look at that as a deal and buy me an Xbox and say, this is a better value for what you're getting. But as gamers, like, I think PlayStation is closer to the PC market than it is to the console market. Like, they're like closer that where we're not afraid to spend a little extra money and buy a VR headset or you know what, like get the back buttons for the controls or buy like
Yeah. If it's for
each
a
individual
great
game,
experience,
you know?
it's worth it. It's worth it.
yeah, like we're not afraid. Like PlayStation players aren't afraid of that, and there's nothing wrong with Xbox doing that. But I see more kids, more people, more children under like 12 that play Xbox. You know, like my brother's kids want an Xbox because all their friends have Xboxes, but they don't have any games. They don't play anything because they're kids.
I want one of those new
and then all the
PlayStation
adults-
controllers with the buttons you can pull out and switch them around. You can put the left thumbstick up higher, where the D-pad is.
Oh,
Oh, the
I saw a picture of that.
what is that?
Yeah, that kind of blew me
Yeah,
away.
the Astro ones.
Yeah, because I mean, like having both thumbsticks in the center like that, you know, kind of silly. Where your thumbs have to work harder, whereas you can lean on the one at the D-pad, so that'll be cool.
Yeah,
But the
I know what you
PS5,
mean.
I'm not sure what they're doing with their controller. It looks like they've already.
They look like they're just.
They just look bigger a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. I'll work with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Got
that. I
one
don't
thing
care.
big.
It's
I'm excited.
I like
I
the way the
mean,
controller looks.
I don't want them
them
to eventually end up like an Xbox controller. I liked the smaller PlayStation controller, but I will say I went back to a PS3 the other day
Oof,
to try it out, and that controller feels so tiny and
It's
flimsy
tiny.
and weird. And I was like, I didn't even know how to make the PlayStation work. I was like trying to sign in under my account and do some things, and it was like nothing felt. Like, this feels good. This, you know, like, it feels intuitive. The dashboard makes sense. Everything is easy to find. And that was weird. Like, I could hardly find a download list for the things I was working on. And it was like, I just felt like I was struggling. And, you know, my kid, of course, like, it was her PlayStation. And she, you know, she had no issue with it. And just, like, jumped right back into it. And I'm like, ugh, this is, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Old.
So,
This is old.
yeah,
Get it
I
away.
always, you know, we're overdue for a new console, and of course there's always gonna be great games. I do like the fact that there are some people who are giving you, like, a digital code or something to let you put your game over from one to the other, because I don't remember that being a thing from between the PS3 to 4. Like, I just had to rebuy the same games over and over again. And so I would love it if that didn't scare me off from this holiday season to buy games for the PS4, which I have, before I buy the PS5. Like, that would be a great incentive for me to drop money before rather than wait until later. And then possibly miss out on being able to play it, like, you know, right away kind of
Yeah, 'cause
thing.
then I remember there were some games there, and I don't remember the names of the games, but they were like, oh yeah, and if you buy this on PS4, don't worry. Yeah, it'll
Well,
be
that
free
would be
on
awesome.
PS5.
But then
Cyberpunk?
again,
Like
if it's a game that I love, I'm willing to rebuy it. Like,
Oh,
I mean,
Cyberpunk.
typically. I don't
wanna
want
play
to, but I will for certain stuff, so.
Are you guys interested?
A lot
in
of people
Cyberpunk?
want to play
Which one?
Cyberpunk.
Oh, I'm getting Cyberpunk
Kendra?
for sure.
Me too.
I don't know enough about it. I mean, like, I've
It's got
definitely
Keanu
seen some
Reeves.
stuff. It looks good.
So does Bill and Ted 3.
Oh, I haven't seen the trailer yet, bruh. I gotta check it.
Yeah,
I gotta
I'll
watch.
probably end up getting it for sure. But right now, I'm not. I actually don't really feel like playing a whole lot of new stuff right now. Basically,
What do you
you
I
know,
just want to dive into nice
Yeah.
RPG.
I definitely would enjoy that. RPGs are typically my favorite, so.
Yeah, well, that's what
Yeah.
Cyberpunk is, a shooter RPG done by the same people that did Witcher.
Yeah,
Witcher
well,
was
exactly.
so-
So you know it's coming from, like, good stock. So.
Right.
yeah, people you can trust. It's like
Is that
people you can trust.
multiplayer at
They're
all?
not-
I don't know.
It's going to be.
Oh, yeah?
They said they're going to have a multiplayer shooter. Blah blah
Like
blah.
Grand Theft
It's
Auto,
not
I
clear
guess.
what they're going to do, but
Like that.
I don't think it's going to be like that. I think it's going to be. I would imagine it's going to be like a shooter, like a battle arena.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
that'll be cool.
Like I don't think it's going to be like an MMO or anything.
So many activities. I'm super
Which would be
excited for
awesome.
these games.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I want a new headset though. I like my headset. I've got the second version, same as Lewis has the second version, I'm sure. The headset.
And yeah. By the time
Bit lighter and stuff.
Kendra bought one, that's all they were making.
Purple.
You got a purple
What
one?
does it really matter?
No.
What?
Yeah, I know. I've already made that mistake.
Thanks,
twice.
guys.
I keep calling Purple
I
Unicorn
really don't
by
care if you
her-
call me by my
her-
real
her
name. I
legal
do
name.
not
Oh
care.
shit!
I literally do not care. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm like,
Okay.
I know.
I'm so dumb.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, anyway, so next week we're gonna talk
Don't
about
use my real name.
Ghost of
Steve.
Tsushima.
Don't use it.
Mm-hmm.
Steve. Yeah. We're gonna talk about Ghost of Tsushima. I would like to touch maybe on some Cyberpunk because
Yeah.
that seems like a
I'll touch the
conversation that we
Cyberpunk.
could
Yeah,
get
yeah.
into, especially because I feel like there's a lot of information out there, and that is something I'm actually passionate
Yeah.
about trying, and I've been looking into quite a bit.
Absolutely.
Is there anything you guys want to touch base on, and then we can all like?
No,
work
like I
on
said,
it
I'll just
together?
keep VR out. Eye out on everything.
Oh
that's
yeah,
going on
you might be able
on
to
the
talk about
VR.
Pistol Whip.
Yeah, like
Oh,
anything
yeah,
that's
we can
anything
talk
that's
about
going on
Pistol
in the VR world, I'll be talking.
Do you think
about.
VR is going to be
that's
like
where I live
connected?
pretty much is, these battle royales, these
Mhm,
shooting games, and the VR. That's
Yeah.
what I'll
Yeah.
be.
Do you guys have a feeling that maybe on the PS5 all the games will be VR compatible? Because as easy as it was to dream,
I can only wish, dude.
You know what I
No,
mean?
but that would be nice.
Oh, that'd be so.
I know. I'd play all
I feel like that'd be.
games.
Because we're waiting for the announcement on Resident Evil 8's, VR and stuff like that. So
Apparently that's
No.
not 8. I heard that it's just
It is
another
8.
section
No,
or
it's
something.
8. No,
Because
it's
the
8.
developers correctly.
Well, yeah, it's just they're calling it Village, but the 8 is in the title, and
because the developer said something on the. I don't know if it's real, but apparently the developer said it's not 8.
I don't know. Like I heard it was. It looks like it's 8, and because it's taken place right after, or like maybe a year.
Well, check it, because I could be
the
wrong.
last game.
But
It is.
check them out.
Well,
I know. I'm
next
just saying
week
that it is the last.
we
game.
will end the long-standing question
Oh, the last
of
game,
the
I hope-
title of Resident Evil.
Yeah, we'll go look that up.
We'll
look
figure it
that
out.
up.
Either
We'll
way,
put it in the
it's a
Discord and make sure
sequel
you
to
look it
7.
up.
Is what I'm
It's a
saying.
secret.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, so it is a sequel
Secret,
to 7.
secret.
That's pretty cool. That'd be
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's like a.
I wanna play
It
the
is
game. I
because
wanna
it
play
is.
it.
If you watch the
Okay.
trailer, you see Nathan and his girl being killed.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Shh.
All right. Okay.
Gotta go.
Yeah. Anyways, if
Gotta
you
go
guys are
play.
interested in checking out anybody's YouTube channels, Twitch channels, we're gonna have them down below. And tune in next week for podcast number 2. I hope everything works out good on this. And we're just gonna keep improving this as we go. So if you guys want us to talk about anything, if you guys seen this, you like this, make sure you give it a thumbs up and leave it in the comments. Okay,
Peace.
take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Bye.